Start by visiting Disney Cruise Line's website at disneycruise.com. From the main menu, hover over the Already Booked option and select My Reservations. You'll be taken to a login screen if you've not recently logged in. Upon successful login, you will be redirected to the My Cruise Reservations page with your upcoming cruise selected. Throughout this video, I've blurred out a number of areas to hide personal information. Scroll down and look for the Online Check-in heading under Cruise Details tab and click the Check-in link. The Online Check-in page loads with an overview section showing your current check-in progress. There are 6 sections to complete: guest information, onboard account, traveling with children, travel plans, port arrival time, and cruise contract. Below the status area, you will find optional forms: an EPI form to authorize Disney Cruise Line crew members to administer epinephrine injector medication should the need arise, and an authorization form for minors to travel without a parent or legal guardian. To start the online check-in process, click the Begin Check-in button at the top of the page next to Goofy. You are not required to complete all the steps in one sitting, but the all-important port arrival time is locked out until prior steps are completed. Oops, I just clicked on Continue instead of a guest name, so now I'm on the onboard account section. I'll circle back to guest information later. Here in the onboard account, this is where you choose how you're going to pay for additional charges during your cruise. You can enter credit, debit, select cash, choose to have another guest pay for your charges. Once you select and enter your payment method, you'll be able to assume responsibility for members of your party and grant charging privileges. There's flexibility here if you want to use unique payment methods for select members of your stateroom. Once selections are made, you must check the box to assume full responsibility for all amounts incurred for the persons selected before the Save button will become active, allowing you to move on to the next section. Traveling with children. In this section, you are providing Disney with important debarkation information and can register kids for youth clubs and childcare. By default, children under 18 are prohibited from debarking the ship unless accompanied by an adult in the same stateroom. Parents and guardians may authorize children to go ashore unaccompanied or with an adult from another stateroom. Near the bottom is a link to the My Disney Cruise Adventure printable booklet with information and activities to complete before and during the cruise. In my case, my child is aged out of the Oceaneer Club and Oceaneer Lab, so I'm not presented with additional registration options for the youth activity spaces. Travel plans. This section is where you can provide pre- and post-cruise travel details to keep Disney Cruise Line informed of your arrival and departure plans. This page is dynamic based on your selection, so take time to complete the information as best as possible. You can always return to update this information if plans change. If everyone in your party shares the same pre- and post-travel plans, you are given the option to check the names, so you are not required to enter this same information for each guest. Circling back to guest information, this is a section that we'll normally start with, but as I mentioned, I skipped it and started with onboard account. Anyway, this is the pivotal section where you provide Disney with your contact details, travel documents, and photos for everyone in your travel party. This section starts with your home address, email, and phone number. You can add a secondary phone number and even pick your preferred language. Additionally, you'll be asked to provide an emergency contact, somebody that is not traveling with you, which can quickly be applied to all or select members of your traveling party. Before you even begin online check-in, I highly recommend you have pictures and scans of your travel documents and security photos for each member of your party at the ready, and utilize the upload option. This will make the process flow much quicker, especially if you're staying up until midnight Eastern Time to complete the process, and other members of your sailing party are fast asleep, unable to take a selfie in real time. Here I have all my files ready to go. Here I'm going to select my passport scan and upload it. Information from the passport will be processed and auto-populate the form fields, which are blurred out for obvious reasons. Now we're going to upload a security photo. But why don't we try the take a photo option? Take a selfie. It doesn't have to be great, it just needs to be done. Rinse and repeat the process for each member of your party. Depending on the guest, there may be additional questions under an important information section, such as, will the guest be pregnant 24 weeks or more at any point during the sailing? Or in this case, 2 questions, with the second asking if the parent or legal guardian of this minor is sailing on the cruise. And now the main event, selecting your port arrival time. This is where you select the time period that reflects when you arrive at the cruise terminal. Depending on your Castaway Club status or if you're sailing concierge level, you may not be required to select a port arrival time and may arrive at your leisure. However, the typical screen looks something more like this, with a list of available times to select based on availability. Consider the selected time as the time when you may enter the terminal. You can arrive after your selected time, but no later than 1 hour prior to the all-aboard time for your voyage. And with that, we are down to the final section, the cruise contract. This is where you're required to review and accept the terms and conditions for sailing with Disney Cruise Line, where you will scroll and 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 scroll some more until you get to the bottom, where you then can either print it or send it to somebody via email. The cruise contract will arrive as a PDF attachment. Then click the box next to I've read and understand the cruise contract and agree to provisions of the cruise contract on behalf of myself and members of the travel party. Then click Complete Check-in. But wait, there's more. The last order of business is to print your port arrival form. Keep this form with your required travel documents, as you will need these to enter the terminal. The port arrival form includes QR codes for each guest that a cast member will scan upon arrival at the terminal. You can add these QR codes to your mobile wallet or email a copy of the form and pull it up on your device. However, Disney recommends, and I highly recommend printing a copy, as the paper version has never failed to work for me at any embarkation port of call. While I prefer to check in using my computer, you can also check in on a smartphone or tablet. I will now jump over to the Disney Cruise Line Navigator app on my iPhone and show you what the process looks like and add the QR codes to my mobile wallet. Currently, my online check-in shows is pending review as I await approval on our travel documents and security photos. Clicking on Pending Review will result in a prompt to leave the DCL app and launch a mobile browser where the online check-in page will load. As you can see, it's all the same information we just saw on the computer, formatted for a mobile. At the top is a blue navigation button to view the port arrival form. From this page, I scrolled down to each guest and selected Add to Mobile Wallet. iOS warned me the website was trying to show a wallet pass and asked if I wanted to allow this process to continue. From here, I was shown a preview and added it to my mobile wallet. Now that I have my mobile passes added to my phone and my printed copy in hand, the check-in process is complete. Now time to shift focus and start thinking about packing for the cruise.